Hello, everybody. Hello, lovelies. Glad you're here today. I am doing a reading for the upcoming week of today, April 20th, which is Easter for those of you in the Christian religion, and 420 of you for those who are not, if you know what I mean, and Sunday for the rest of us. Okay, so my reading is this one is kind of a quick one because it's just a look at the upcoming week. And today I am using the Trish James Stardust Shadows cards. I do want to say that I ordered her new personal predictions deck, and I want to say that there was an error in the order, and Trish James was incredibly gracious in how all of that was handled. And more on that on a different day and a different place and time somewhere in the future. But I wanted to give a big shout out to her. I'll probably do an unboxing video on these and some other cards because I kind of have a little bit of a shop issue going on. Oh my. Um, I have perhaps invested in a few more decks. I think I have enough. I have enough. That's what I need to tell myself. I have enough after I get all the ones that are coming this week. Hershey's here. Hello, Hershey. Can you say hello? Here, here, here. Let me pick you up and here, say hi. Say hi. Oh, all right, then you go down that way then. Thank you, sir. Bye. All right. So let's get into the reading because I know you're all, not too worried about the cat, right? Okay. Um, uh, One other shout out before I get started. Got my hair done yesterday. Isn't it so pretty? Oh my God. Big shout out to the beautiful, lovely young woman who does my hair, and her name is Katie. And she helped me transition from, mm, hang on, I got to pause for just a second to make sure I'm showing you the right one. Okay, so she helped me transition from this to this. So I went from red and blonde to blonde and very colorful underneath. And I love it. This will probably be what I do the rest of my life because I love it so much. And it fades with time, but the beautiful thing is up here, I have, you know, not just up here, there's a lot more throughout, but I have a lot of white in my hair now because, silver goddess, it comes with territory. But this particular stretch of my hair up here is white. And this will all fade into really beautiful, um, it turned a very beautiful lilac color last time I had this done, and I can't wait for that to happen again. You know, all right. So let's get into this reading. The first deck, like I said, is the Trish James Stardust Shadows. And we start out with the Ace of Coins. At the heart of the matter this week, we are going to find out that, for this reading, my sense is that it is this part of the video anyway is related to the felon in the White House. And bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Anyway, so, all right. Um, at the heart of the matter is for the love of money. It is all about the money, and I suspect we're going to hear that everything he has done over the majority of his life has been about money. Um, Another note, usually I have a second camera set up where I show it facing down on the table. And because I use my Zoom for this, it's cutting off the edges and I don't like where it's how it's showing up. So I'm going to do it this way for a little bit until I can find something a little better and we'll figure it out along the way. All right. So for the love of money, we're going to find out those money ties this week. Crossed by the Six of Wands. His love of money, obviously, it comes before him. It stands around him. If you are able to read auras in any way, shape, or form, his aura just, it's, for me, it's very muddy. Excuse me while I connect. Oh. Um, his aura is very muddy, but also there's that I can feel that love of money and all of his connections to how he got it in his aura. So at the base of the reading is the Nine of Coins. And as the card says, payoff. He has been paid off. He has paid others off. He has had information held over him, and he has done the same to others. And, it becomes a vicious circle. Who has the bigger pieces of dirt? And if there's no dirt on them, then there's allegedly threats. All of this is alleged. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. Anyway, so it's that vicious circle of energy where if he doesn't have dirt on them, he has threats. If he has dirt on him, he doesn't have to rely on threats only in terms of physical harm. Um, it's the release of information that is threatening to people. It's just not, it's an ugly, 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 ugly energy. Energy passing away is the world. Um, so two things are coming to mind with this card. One is that this could be Putin, who actually crosses over, the start of the trilogy. And by the start of the trilogy, what I mean is that Putin, 45, and Netanyahu are all three probably going to go around the same time. Um, the other thing that this says to me is the connections that we have with other countries in terms of our allies and our enemies and all of that shifting because of 45 being in the White House and how he's handling things. The overarching energy is the Knight of Swords. This is somebody who takes action, who gets things done. The question in this regard is what's the purpose? What's the means for what they're doing? Not just the means, but the why. Sorry. Um, so one of the cool things about this deck is that one side is tarot and the other side is oracle. And as I held this card up to you, I glanced at the back and I feel like this side of the card is more of the message of the overarching energy. And it says complicit, knowingly participating. So I had a I had a conversation with Jane earlier, And I'm going to pull that up because it is funny. Um, anyway, so oh, this is a really good point. Somebody in a group that I'm in talked about 45 needing a very dramatic ending because he is a TV personality. And it's either the drama or the cliffhanger or whatever type of energy that is, but it's coming up. That's a possibility that that's how things are going to change. Um, And I said, I don't care how it plays out, but I do care that it happens very soon. And Jane replied very, very soon. This government is so incompetent, it's criminal, truly a crime. Um, and I said, with 45 being who he is and the people around him not wanting to go to prison, too late. Crimes have been crimed. Prison is awaiting. And that was what we laughed about because she then said, can we put that on a t-shirt? And I said, yep. And coffee cups and koozies and tumblers and all the things. It can go everywhere. So to that end, it's like this in my head all the time. Anyway, so to that end, we have complicit. These are all the players who have helped him prime his way through his, is it, oh my God, it is only 3 months. It is only 3 months. It feels like it's been a lifetime already. Anyway, those folks, they're going to jail. Prison is waiting. Next, we have the Eight of Wands. This is energy coming to bear. Everything is going to go fast. It is all going to happen quickly. Everything is going to be revealed. Everybody, it's all going to come up and it's going to happen really, really quick. It was all done because of status, of him wanting to be the wealthy businessman. I'm also feeling like much of this was because of Fred, his father, and how cruel he was to his children. And telling Donald that if he was anything but a wealthy businessman, he was a failure. And I think of all the things that Donald fears the most, it's that he's a failure. And I will say this, there are bigger things that Donald should fear. Next, we have the Five of Cups, and it is regrets and grief and walking away from the things that no longer serve. His hopes and fears are the Three of Cups. He hoped that he could celebrate success throughout his life. We hope that, I can't really, oh yeah, I can't say that out loud. We hope that we get to celebrate with a rebirth in the near future. of our democracy, of the way, of the shape and way our government works. It has not worked for all of us for a long time. In fact, I would go so far as to say it has not worked for all of us for the entire duration of time because it was written by men who owned slaves, who owned other people. And that energy has gone forth throughout the entire duration of our democracy. And now, while there are no bill of sales on human beings in terms of slave trading, um, like there was back in that era, we have oligarchy, and many of us are treated as that. We are simply hogs on a wheel. We show up, we do the work, we go home, we show up, we do the work, we go home. And when we no longer show up to do the work, they hire somebody else who shows up, they do the work, they go home. And just enough is given to people to allow them to live. And I'm not saying this is true for everybody, but the basic needs are met. But gross wealth like the oligarchy have, very, very few people, as you well know, will ever feel that. And I don't think it's unreasonable for those of us who are the worker bees, if you will, to say, hey, wait a minute, this is not right, this is not fair. When I don't know if any of you follow, um, his name is Robert Reich, Reich, and he was on Shitter. I'm pretty sure he's here on YouTube as well. Um, but he has shown the differences in wage earning of general employees versus upper management and CEOs, particularly CEOs, over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. When CEO income is thousands, 1,000 or more times more than the average employee, there is a problem with that. And so he's a very interesting person to follow if you don't. And then finally, we have the Fool. We are stepping into a new start. I'm not sure that this is coming this week. In fact, it feels like a few more weeks to me. And when that does happen, I know that a lot of us are going to be out there celebrating. We're going to feel that Three of Cups. Um, yeah. All right. So that is my reading for this week in terms of the tarot. I also pulled, did I mention at the start of the video that I might have a little bit of maybe just a little bit of a slight, a slight purchasing problem? Because I kind of do. Anyway, so I have a new deck. Okay, I have this one. This is self-care, wisdom oracle cards. I have past life. I have the healing spirit. These are all new this week. I'm not proud of this. The Dark Mansion Tarot. These are really fun. I have Ether, Ether, creatures, oracle cards. Oh, and this one is giant. The blind spot oracle cards. And did I mention I also got the personal predictions for Trishe? Oh my. That's just this week. I don't really want to tell you how many I have. I'm so sorry. To myself, to my higher spirit. All right, so I pulled some cards from this deck and a deck that did not arrive this week that I've had for quite a while now is Inner Leaping Peace. So let me start with these guys. And what I asked as I was pulling cards was, what self-care do we need to know for the upcoming week? And that is for anybody watching this now and in perpetuity. First one is happiness. And it says, your thinking will either make your happiness or take your happiness. You choose. So let me show that here. Next is feelings. Healing begins with feeling. Be gentle with yourself and tender with your heart. Release. Sorry. Sometimes the best way to grow is to simply let go. I think this one is the one that really stands out to me. And this one says, love. Love people, love them with all your heart. Just be sure to love yourself first. And what I love about this card is all the different people represented in this picture. The different shapes, the different sizes, the different religions, the different, everybody's here. Well, not everybody. There are certainly some that are not, but love people. We all have something to offer. We all have a purpose. We are all here for a reason. Abundance, and this is advice for me. Um, so abundance, being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. And then finally, we have growth. Evolution starts when you leave your comfort zone, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay, so those are the first deck. Oh, this is really cool. This is the inside of the box lid. What if being kind to yourself really could change everything? Isn't that lovely? Yes, yes, indeed. It can change everything. It can change everything. All right, so inner bleeping piece. The first one is Om, Sweet Om. Have a meditation staycation. And if you need to know, we have some meditations here on our channel. They are in a playlist called Meditations. I do plan on um, recording some more soon, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Next, we have Get Your Ass Outside. Live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink the wild air. And I'm going to add on there, connect with nature. Keep calm and bleep and breathe. Raise the vibe one breath at a time. And finally, breathe like you know how. Inhale the good shit, exhale the bad shit. That's awesome. All right, so that is this week's reading. Mentioned just a moment ago that I'm going to be recording more meditations. Part of that is it is a self-care moment, but also part of that is I'm feeling like I need to gently shift where this channel is focusing, what the energy we're focusing on. Um, I've done a lot of political tarot readings or oracle readings, and I'm very invested in what happens politically because it is our democracy, because I care about you and everybody else who lives in this country, in this world, outside of this earth. We are all connected. And while I am still very connected to the politics happening here and around the world, I'm also aware that it's very dark and it is a lot of negativity. And I want this channel to be a bit more positive in tone, if you will. So I'm going to lean in on some of the things that really interest me a bit more. Um, and we'll see where that takes us. Will there be things like true crime? Absolutely. I will still do some of the current headline things. But I'm going to do readings on the people who interest me. And I'm going to lean in on my mediumship, which is connecting with people who have passed over. So we'll see where it goes. I just wanted to give you a heads up on what's happening and why it's kind of happening. I know for me, it has impacted, like the last time 45 was in office, I went down a rabbit hole and it really negatively impacted my mental health. And I can feel myself starting to go there, and I will not give him the satisfaction of taking me there again. Um, Whew, I just heard this time it's going to be the other way around. Interesting. Very interesting. Hmm. Okay. All right. Thank you again for being here today, for watching. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope you have an amazing week coming up. Um, Let me know your thoughts. Give me anything, any comments you have, any direction, anybody you want me to read on. I would be glad to do so. I find your input to be very, very valuable. Um, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for you being here. Just a reminder, you are made of stardust and magics. Speaking up before I end this, this morning I was in a a thing. I can't really tell you more about it than that because it's not my place to do so, but we did we did some things with oracle cards. I'll just put it there. Anyway, so oh, okay. And one of the cards that I pulled just was the very first card I pulled for that particular reading. And I wanted to share it with you all because I thought you would enjoy it a great deal. So, this is the card that I pulled. It is called Illumination. And this is from my What We've Forgotten Oracle deck. And I will say this is not something that's, oh, I got this one months ago. I just don't use it for the videos very often. But that's probably going to change because I do want, like I said, I want to take us in a different, I don't want to be just political. It's not fulfilling to me to do that. All right, so the meaning of this card is you've probably heard this before. Maybe it was from someone in a tie-dyed tank top at a music festival, or maybe from famed astronomer Carl Sagan. Bet you know where this is going. We are made of literal star stuff. Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium, and trace elements. We are stars in a vessel. God, I love that. We are all made of light, and as we get connected to that light, we can imagine consciously letting it flood our systems. You might imagine that it's coming through the top of your head from somewhere beyond the stars. You might imagine that it's like water and it's moving through you like a wave. Imagine what parts of your body or life may need to be illuminated with the light of infinite knowledge and unconditional love. Take a moment in your day for the next week to acknowledge the science of your being and fuel yourself with the light of the stars. You may want to try this at different times of the day to experience how it impacts your energy. Watch what comes through you as you intentionally plug into the light of creation. It is just, when I pulled that card and I started to read it, I was just like, oh my God. So, anyway, all right. You are stars in the vessel. You are made of magic. You're far more powerful than you know, and you are profoundly loved. Thank you again. Hope you have a beautiful week. Take care. Bye now.